Welcome to Xtra, presented by VDG Sports. I am your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter, very censored. You can follow Xtra on Twitter at Xtra VDG. Be sure to follow Xtra on Twitter at Xtra VDG. Check out the website as well. That is xtra.vdgsports.com. That is xtra.vdgsports.com. YouTube as well. VDG Sports. Like, subscribe, rate, review, share, care, interact, mingle, comment if you may, if you must. Everything's there. Everything is there. This episode is not, I repeat, it is not being sponsored by VinceDouglasGregory.com. VinceDouglasGregory.com is where you can keep up with me, my whereabouts, my well-being, and everything in between. Basically, all things Vince, and you probably should check it out because it's all things Vince. You're welcome. Noobs, thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you for giving me a chance. Maybe it's a second, maybe it's 20, maybe it's the entire episode, maybe you become a reg. Just thank you. Go ahead and pat yourself on the back. Go ahead and pat yourself on the back. Regs, we back at it again. Regs, we do what we do. Regs, this feels like every day. But it's not every day. It just feels like it's every day. And it's special. The special, unique bond that we share. We don't have a name for it. Maybe in the future, we'll get a name for it or a word combination. As of now, there's no name for it, but that doesn't make it any less, and that doesn't make it any unique or less special. I definitely know where I want to go. And it's dealing with my personal growth. And when it comes to customer service representatives or customer service in general. And as you know, I've been working out some of the bugs on the system, working out some of the bugs with the studio and working out some of the bugs with the software and the hardware and all of those things. However, that's on the audio side of things. The video side of things is a little bit more complex. Whereas I can get everything right on my end, but when I send it off, or when it's time to process, or when it's time to just go ahead and add the layers upon layers, or when it's just time to host and just have it somewhere, things can go a little bit apey. And it's not my fault. So I definitely want to apologize, though, where some of the videos come out with no sound. I know the issue. I figured out the issue. I figured out the problem. And I reached out to customer service to get that issue and that problem fixed. Basically, without my knowledge and basically without my permission, they just up, and I'm gonna say they, and I'm gonna use pronouns, and I'm gonna use sort of non-descriptive words to describe this company because it's still a working relationship, and there's not enough time to go by. I would basically have to end the relationship and let time go by before I normally bring it up. So I'm definitely protecting the guilty in the game. But if you're listening, you know I'm talking about you. If you're listening, you know I am talking about you. And it's you, not the you plural. It's the you singular. You know who I'm talking about. You. They decided to make changes and do quote unquote. And yes, my 2 or 4 digits are going up in the air. My 4 digits are going up in the air. Improvements to my video. Well, these improvements to my video basically breaks my video and breaks everything that I created or everything that I made. They break it. And what I mean by break it, the stuff that's coming out with no sound, or the stuff that's coming out with haywire sound, or the stuff that's coming out that's just not good, that ain't me. That's them. That is them. And it took me a while. It took me a while to figure it out. It took me a while to get a handle on it, because one, I don't go back and necessarily review all of the videos. There's certain ones that I just kind of like leave alone and don't mess with. And those were the ones that were sliding through the cracks. And so happened to be that I just decided to just go and do a recap and just listen to everything from a certain point. And when I started, I was like, wait a minute, this isn't this isn't the end product. This isn't what I put out there. What's going on? What is going on? And it made me dive a little deeper into trying to figure it out. It's like, all right, this is working. This is working. This is dun, dun, dun. Everything up until this point is fine. But when we go to that next level, and when I expect to get something back in return in the same format, the format was being changed. The format was being broken for quote unquote improvements. Well, these improvements were breaking the video. These improvements were breaking things and not necessarily helping things. And that made me reach out to customer service and ask them, hey, why you changed my plan? Why did you change my plan? And Regs, you know how I feel about customer service representatives and techs. Noobs, I'll just say this. It's an everyday battle. It's an everyday struggle for me to remember my points, remember how far I've come, and basically build off of all of the building blocks, the solid foundation that I build, and even add a little meditation involved so I can go to my happy place when I need to go to my happy place. However, sometime it's just best to get your point across and say nothing else. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I'll flush it out for you later. I reached out. I was like, why you changed my plan? We didn't change your plan, but okay, there's certain things that's not happening. There's certain things that's different. And it's not anything that I'm doing different. It's not anything that I'm doing different. Sure, the software and some of the moving parts and pieces are different, but the end product is coming out the same. And it is the same. The only difference, the only variable is you. And that's you singular. And I'm talking about you, specific company that will go nameless. Yeah, I'm talking about you. So I got the message back saying that, okay, blah, 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 blah. And there was a list, a basically checkoff list that I guess they go through and that they just send to every random person. And this list of things to do insulting my intelligence. This list of things to do just put me in a bad mood. This list of things to do just took me out of my happy place and brought me back down to earth. Now, Now I got to reach for all of the other tools in my toolbox to help me get through this situation because I am heated. I am on fire. I am Virgo or flames. I am on fire. Cause it's not as if that I'm some noob and no, this isn't a shout at you noobs or people that's learning new things. You should continue to learn new things, even if they're going to be growing experiences or growing pains from those experiences. You should still go for the new and learn if you can. So this isn't a shout at you. This isn't me calling you out. This is just me saying in general. I'm not a noob in a sense of I've been doing this for years now. I've been doing this for years. The only variable change or that change is the end product on their end. Everything else is the same. The outcome from my end is the same. It's just that when it's presented to the planet, when it's presented to the world, it's different. And the only other piece that has to go through is you. Yes, singular you company. And to give me a list of what to do and how to upload a video, to how to submit a video, to how to do video related things, that's an insult to my intelligence. That's an insult to my intelligence because I've been doing this for years upon years, and all of a sudden something changed, something is different, but it's not on my end. So now I need to relearn or learn how to do this properly. Oh, I was heated. I was so heated. I ended up coming up with 5 different drafts to respond to that email. The first draft was just me just letting everything out and letting everything loose. So of course I couldn't go with that. That wasn't any bad words though. The first draft couldn't fly. Second draft was just a little bit tempered, but I was still spitting fire. So of course, as you know, second draft couldn't go either. Third go round, I'm finding my center. I'm sort of finding my balance here. But still, I'm thinking, you sent me instructions and diagram and how to do something I've been doing forever, pretty much. All right. I started to come down. I started to find my center. I started to find not my happy place. My happy place was destroyed and broken at that point. Still, I started to get back to the place where I'm able to remember and recall all of the other interactions I've had with customer service and technicians and what have you, and just kind of walk myself through that and kind of just take myself emotionally out of the situation and just think of it as transactional. I was able to take myself out of the situation emotionally and just think of it as transactional and just logic system, a logic system, if thens and variables, and basically a scientific method, if you may. So the next version was me structuring everything to how I just told you. There was no emotion in it. There was no emotion in it at all. It was if-thens. It was scientific method structured. It was basically reason upon reason that any rational person with a brain could follow. But that version didn't get sent either because I just had to put it all out there. And the next version was me tying it all together to make it make sense, tying it all together. So even if you didn't have a brain, you were still able to understand the last point. You insulted my intelligence. I sent that off. And looking at the first draft all the way to the final product, I'm proud. I'm proud of myself because that personal growth is still there. I am still building blocks, building and not necessarily destroying or going backwards. This was a moment where my happy place got destroyed, but I was still able to find my toolbox and my tool bag and use other methods to get through the situation. Even with the replying email that wasn't to my satisfaction. It was not to my standards, but it's okay. It is okay. They tried. They failed. It's fine. The situation was corrected and has been corrected. So I think that's cool. That's great. Basically, the email was like somebody else, a different person. So I'm guessing they realized their faux pas. And it basically was standing up for their colleague and was like, no, they didn't mean to insult your intelligence. That isn't what we blah, 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 that we want to just put out as much detail as possible. You know, the standard hook, line, and sinker line to just say, yeah, we want to give you abundance of information. So you're going to give me abundance of information. Okay. So that's like telling a person, I'm going to give you information on how to drink water, even though you know how to drink water, but this is just us going above and beyond so you can drink water or have this extra knowledge of drinking water. That's basically how I took that. So I was like, whatever. Just, is the situation rectified? Is it correct? And they did do something on their end. They did a lot of things on their end. And I got the okay that's been corrected, even though there still has been some slip ups. But to their credit, he did tell me I have to go back in and redo the videos or whatnot. So there's still going to be a few that may slip through the cracks that come out with no sound. But from this episode on, it should not be a problem again unless they decide to go a little cray-cray, unless they decide that I need to learn a lesson, or unless they decide, and now I'm talking about the universe, unless the universe decide that I need to go through some tough times again to test and see if I am really building, am I really growing, am I really going to a different place when I can't necessarily be in my happy place, when I don't necessarily have my tool bag with me, when all odds are stacked against me and I'm being insulted, my intelligence being questioned, and everything about me and my being is being destroyed right in front of my eyes. Will I be able to keep it together to get through this customer service experience? The universe might present that in the future. But what I realized, and I realized this after they sent me the whole rating thing, rate your experience. And it was a simple like question at the beginning. And, you know, after you do that part, they ask you to go into detail about the interaction. I answered the question. You went above and beyond to present me with information on how to upload a video when I've been uploading a video pretty much all my life. I'm not going to return the favor and insult your intelligence and tell you why you got a poor rating. It's obvious. It is obvious. And I don't state the obvious. You're welcome.